Hey, welcome back to edtech by Meera. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about Python lists. What are Python lists, how you use it, and some properties, etc. Some basic information. Now, basically, lists in Python are used to store similar or dissimilar grouping of items, basically. They could be of different data types. We see some basic examples here. I create a list called my list, and then just to show you some examples. For example, here I'm storing a list of names. It could be, these are items. Basically, the items could be anything, name of cities, name of persons, fruits, veggies, just about anything, numbers, booleans, anything. So let's see, like here, for example, we have some names here. For example, Alan, Mary, John, whatever, different names that I could think of. You could have different names. Don't use the similar names. Ha ha ha. Okay. So I create a list and I name it as my list. Now that's up to you. You could call it just list. You could call it your list, my list, list one, list two, anything, just about anything, as long as you keep to the protocol of naming the list in Python, naming a variable in Python. So print my list, yeah. And then let's see, when you print out, when you give the print command, in the console you get these names which are stored as a string inside the list. And remember, the list is denoted by open and closed square brackets. So this is how you show a list. You should remember that pictorially and visually, that this is how a list is made and list looks like in Python. Don't forget the square brackets, open and closed. And then after, and the names are stored as a string with comma in between the different words or different items, whatever you call it. And then after that you print my list. So now, don't bother about the AI prompts. I'm not using that. Okay. Then I want to show you some more examples to understand what all it can store, etc. So in this case, I'm going to show you an example in which it can store duplicate names. So I want to tell you that list in Python is allowed to store duplicate items. In this case, it's duplicate names. So it's like John, Mary, John. So when you store like this, it will stay like that. Yeah, and then you can print it out. Print my list. It will be exactly printed out identically like John, Mary, John. So that means duplicate names are allowed. It doesn't get distorted. It doesn't give a bug. John, Mary, John. So if you type it 3 times, it will exist as 3 times, not 1 times. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So this is possible. Let's see what else is possible with different examples of my list. Okay. Okay, now if you want to know the length means the number of items in your list. So that's the length, right? So in Python you have an inbuilt function called length, which is shown by len. The keyword is len. So len inside the parenthesis, which is len is a function. You write my list, it will show you the length of the list, my list, 3. There you go. The answer is 3 in the console. Why? Because John, Mary, John. 3 words or 3 items are there. So the length of my list is characterized by the number of items stored inside the list. In this case, it's 3. If you store 5, the answer will be 5, etc. So this is the way of finding the number of items stored in a list. Just print the length of that particular list and then you will get it. Okay, now what other properties are there? What else you can do with the list? Now you want to also know that what are the different data types. So like here I'm going to make 3 lists, list 1, list 2, list 3. In the list 1 I'm going to store all the strings, like the names of city, name of fruit, whatever. And the list 2 I'm going to store different numbers or numericals. And in list 3 I'm going to store like booleans, like true, false, whatever. So these are the different data types that we have in Python, right? So all these could be made use of as items to create a list. So this is what I'm going to show you. So here let's create a list 1 with all the names of a person, the names of different persons or students or whatever you call, which works like items here. Yeah, so John, Mary, John, the duplicate list that we created earlier. List 2 is gonna store numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, 6, 7. Remember that between each item there should be a comma. Now since these are numbers, we don't have the inverted, the open and close inverted like in the case of string above. So you have to remember that. Then in list 3, the same goes for the booleans. Yeah, it's just true, comma, false, comma, whatever. The boolean followed by comma sign. Inside remember the main thing to remember, inside the square brackets. The list is always denoted by, the items have to be stored inside the open and closed square brackets. That's very important. Open and closed square brackets. There you go. Yeah. And then true, false. So you have 3 lists. Now you can print out list 1, print list 2, print list 3. Now when you do, after you do that, we check the console and we'll find that these lists are identically reproduced when you print out. So let's check it out in the console. There you go. Print list 1. Let's do that. Print list 1, print list 2, print list 3. So you have to show, let's do that separately so that they regenerate, they print out the lists in different sets. In different occasions. So first the print list 1 so that you get to reproduce the list separately when you print it, and you know like what it is storing and it's what is possible to store. That's what going to show. So print list 1, all the item names, John, Mary, John. Print list 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. List 3, true, false, true. So this will be printed out inside your console. So let's see that. There you go. John, Mary, John, the first list, second list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Third one, true, false, true. So the Boolean string. So you have all the, you can have these 3 data types, strings, numbers and booleans, etc. To be stored inside a list. So this is possible. So this is the reason I showed you how you can store the different data types. Sometimes you can also store a mix of it. That's possible. We'll see next time. Okay. So far we've done several theories before we do some more. Sorry. So to those who are already subscribed, thanks for staying subscribed. And if you've not yet subscribed, do remember to smash that subscribe button and the bell button so that you get to know immediately when I publish a video tutorial. And I'm also going to write in the description some of the concepts that I've written in my blog newsletter, so you can read that up as well. Sorry about my bad throat. Okay, and I create another list and I call it list 4. That's up to you what name you give. Now here I'm going to have a mixed list, mixed data types inside this list. Like first one is a string ABC, then the number 47, then a boolean false, then again a number, then again male, female, child, whatever. Just to show you that even this is possible. Then after that we print out the list, print list 4. So it will, if you print out, you will get exactly the same. Then after this, I'm gonna do print type list 4. Okay. Now why did I do the print type list 4? To find out this list is of this list that we have done. What is the class of it? What data type is it? What is it exactly? So this list 4, what is it? So it shows in the answer in the console, it's a list, class of list. So in order to find that, just to double check, you can do print type list 4. So what type of variable, I mean the variable that you created, what type of the storing list that you have created, is it really a list, is it a set, is it a tuple? In order to find that, what kind of data is it, you just write print type using the type inbuilt type function. So it will show you it's a list, confirm that it's a list, because that means in a list also you can store mixed data types like string, number, etc., boolean. Yeah. So that was just to show you that it's possible to have a mixed data type inside a list and still remain a list. So that's why I found out what class is it. Is it still a list? Yeah. And then the next one, my list equal to list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What am I doing? It's a constructor, means it will construct. In order to construct a new list, all I need to do is write list function. Inside that you write another parenthesis and write out the information, the data. Like here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember the double parenthesis. So automatically when you print that, it will give you the list form with the square brackets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Interesting, isn't it? So this is called a list constructor, meaning using this list constructor you can create a new list this way as well. List, my list, that's the name of the list, equals list. So that's a list function constructor to create a new list. List parenthesis and the double parenthesis, write the information and then print my list. Okay. Now, how do you access the list items? That is, whatever items are there inside it. If you want to access a particular or specific item inside the list, how do you access? How do you reach that? So, if you must know, the items inside the list are arranged indexically. So, that means you've already learnt about index. If you don't know, it is like in an order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first item index is 0. That's how we count. We do the first item index 0, second item index 1, and so on. Now here you get the answer as 2 for the third 0, 1, 2. For the third item, if you want to access, or if you want to access list 1, if you want to access the second item, you have to write print list and then the index 1. Index is shown with a square bracket. So here Alan, Mary, Jane. The third item is Jane, but the index will be 2. Alan, Mary. Second item is Mary, but index will be 1. First item Alan, but index will be 0. So this is how it is arranged indexically. So let me comment out the print commands earlier so that I do not get too many answers inside the console, to decrease the crowd. So to clear out the crowd of answers. Okay, let's get done. So first I did print my list with index 1. Index 1 is what? The second item, which is 2 here. 1 index 0, 2 is index 1, 3 is index 2. Yeah, and then it goes on 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, which is the last item, has index of 5. So accordingly, whatever index is there, you mention that inside the square bracket in my list. Mention the list name, my list, and then the square bracket and whatever index you want to access. Now, if you want to access the negative index in Python, negative index starts in coding rather, not only in Python. Negative index starts from behind, so -1. So 6, which is the last item, has an index of -1. So if you want to access the last item 6 here, then my list in the bracket -1, there you go, the answer is 6. So it will be negative index decreases in an increasing way. You know that -2 is less than -1 and so on. So -1 is 6. 5 will be -2, 4 will be -3 and so on. It will go in the different direction, reverse direction from the last item to the first item. Yeah. So this is how it goes. So now let's let's access a range of index. So this was just one item. Yeah. Now what if you want to access a range of indexes? Yeah. From one particular range over a range, like from left to right or right to left. So let's say, so how do you do that? In that case, you have to do slightly different. You have to write the left index and then the colon and then the right index. So for that, I'm creating another list, my list, with the names as before. And then I want to do this exercise for showing you the example of range of indexes. Okay, so here I'm like giving different names, Meera, John, Melaka. Let's say about 5 names I'm giving China. So it's mixed items, name of person and name of city, just like that. Just for fun, you can have it like this also. So it's like Meera, John, Melaka, China, Delhi, Singapore. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. The length of this list is 6, right? If you count manually. Okay. Now I want to print a range of indexes. So let's say I want to access. So let's say my list. So first you have to write the name of the list, remember. So print my list, and then for the index, inside the square bracket, you have to write the range of the index. So let's say 2:5. So 2 means it's starting the item which is at index 2, ending at index 5. And remember, 5 is not inclusive. So Melaka, China, Delhi. So it's Delhi was index 4, remember. So Melaka is index 2. So when you do 2, starting from 2 until 5, the last index, whatever 5, like ending 5 index, 5th index is not included. It will stop at the 4. So Melaka, China, Melaka index 2 stops at index 4. You have to remember that very, very clearly. So you can see index 2. Meera is index 0, John index 1, Melaka is index 2, China index 3, Delhi index 4, Singapore index 5. So it stops at Delhi, which is index 4, starting from index 2, Melaka. Then let's try another case. So this we saw already how we got from 2 to 5. Then let's consider another example. Let's create another list. Sorry, there's a spelling mistake. So Meera, Bangalore, Chennai, Orange. I'll do the correction later. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7 items. Okay, let's fix the mistakes here because it's supposed to be a string, right? Okay. So let's print another range in a different way. Ignore the spelling mistake, it's not important. Print my list from index. So here the starting index is 2, and then so starting index 2, first item Meera, second item Bangalore, index 1, Chennai, third item is index 2. Yeah, I told you that already. So 2, starting with third item which is index 2, and then column, nothing is mentioned means all the way until the end, you have to remember. So the end item was melon. So starting from index 2, which is item third, it will go all the way until melon. So when the stop ending item is not, index number is not mentioned after the colon, then that means you have to access until the end of the last index of the string. Like here, until all the way until melon, which is the last item, starting from index 2, which is Chennai, or in English, it's the third item. So for third item, the index is 2. For first item, index 0. Second item, index is 1. So, and then orange is the fourth item, index 3, and so on. So, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, melon, the last item, index 6, which is the seventh item. So, if you remember, you have to really understand. If you don't understand, you can ask me a question, whatever doubt you have, and I'll help you to figure it out. It's quite simple, pretty simple. I can explain it to you to the best of my knowledge, in the best of way, so that you really understand. So that's not a problem. So this is one way of accessing. First way of accessing was mentioning the beginning range, the beginning index and the ending index. Second way was just showing the beginning index and leaving nothing after the colon, so that you can access until the whole. Then we figure out a way to access a range of negative index. Now, negative index, as I said, starts from the in this reverse order from the last of the list, which is -1. So let's see here, print my list. Oh my God, it's coming outside the parenthesis because I tried to type very fast and it goes like that. Print my list, and then the square brace. So the last item, let's say the starting with -4, so it starts accessing from -4 colon and then -1, stops at -1. So how do you move in which direction? Starting from -4, -1 is melon, so you cannot start there. Banana -2, mango -3, -4 is orange. So starting from orange all the way until melon. So orange, mango, banana, melon. I mean manually if you do. So let's see the answer. Yes. -4, -1. There you go. Orange, mango, banana. So this is how it moves. So I hope you understood again. -4 to -1. So you have to go exactly, you have to find out which is the item with -4 and then move from there until the towards the right, because -1 is towards your right? Yeah. From -4 to -1 you move towards the right. Orange, mango, banana, in that direction, melon. But in this case, remember again the same thing. When you write -1, the last item is not inclusive. That's why you got orange, mango, banana and not melon. The same as in positive index. When you write a range, the last item in the end range is not inclusive. Okay. So now you want to check something else. Sorry, my typo is a bit slow. So for all, so if you want, let's say you have a list and you want to know if a specific item is, or if a particular or specific item is existing in the list or not, if you want to know. Now in this case we are using 4, 5, 6 items, so it's easy to manually check. But if it's a long list of hundreds and thousands of items, so we can use the if condition, if keyword in order to find out. Yeah. So with this we end what is to be done in list. And as I said earlier, if there's anything that you didn't follow, please do not hesitate to ask me a question. I will explain it again. No problems. So now we have to write this code in order to find out if a specific item exists in the list or not. This is not really important, but I will just, because you will learn that in more detail later on in your complex Python, but just to show you. Let's say I want to know in the above list if meera, that is the name of an item, in my list. This means if meera exists, the item called meera exists in my list or not. So short form, if meera, the item name, in the list name, my list, colon, yeah, print, again it's going outside the parenthesis, I'll just correct that out. So print, yes, item is in the whatever list, whatever statement you want to write. Print, the print statement that you know already. Print, yes, the name of the item, again meera, is in the item list. Whatever you want to write. The print statement, you can write that and then print out the statement. Okay. Yes, meera is in my list. I just make it short. I don't want to follow the advice of my AI. Sorry. Okay. There you go. Let's see the answer. Yes, meera is in my list. And if